Wait, I've got something mine. Hello.
Oh,
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, yes, good, thank you. Just try to get back into the swing of organisation, I suppose. What about
I
you?
know. Oh, I'm buzzing. 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks and counting, man. I'm absolutely loving
I
it.
should have tagged the non-seco or the Zero from Marks and Spencer's as well as the Party Prosecco from Lidl's for you.
Honestly, but you know how that bit is 2 weeks, and I'm already like, I'm actually going to miss. I'm especially going to miss the twins. I'll miss Neve to an extent. Like, I've not really seen much of her. Do you know what I mean?
It's different age.
And when I do spend time with her, it's going to the cinema at night. Like, we went to see Bullet Train last night. Right? Oh, you're dying to see it, aren't you?
I don't
I'm
tell
not
me
going to
nothing.
say anything apart from it's funny as fuck. Like, honest to God, like,
Right.
laugh out loud, right? Oh, I mean, laugh out loud. Like, the cinema was in stitches at some point, right? The patter in it is brilliant. Brad Pitt is just funny as fuck, right? It was as if he totally let his hair down in this film.
Right, okay, good.
Aye, absolutely. And there was a couple of pure moments, and the
Right.
whole cinema was like that, and like everybody was like pure.
Was it busy?
It was busy because it was release night, and
Of course.
what disappointed me though was it wasn't in screen one, but we went to the 9 o'clock showing, so I don't know if the 8 o'clock showing was in screen one, if you know what I mean,
Right.
like overlap. But yeah, and the trailers before it for us was Adam Black, the Rock DC film, so superhero.
Right, not sure I'll be going to that, to be honest,
No,
because the most recent DC film I went to see,
you went to see
that
Super Pets,
one,
didn't you?
wasn't impressed at all.
Yep,
Too
you said
woke for my liking.
so it was Adam Black, that Nope film. Now, if I've seen the trailer once for that, I've seen it about 10 times. Now, I'm an Unlimited, Odeon Unlimited card holder, so that's why I'm at the cinema a lot, for people that think she's at the cinema all the fucking time. But that's because I'm getting my money's worth out of this fucking card.
Quite right.
Nope. So I'm just no feeling that film at all.
I don't think I've seen it. I'm not a big movie person, so I don't really go to the cinema or anything like that unless it's with a wee fella, you know.
We got a very, very small glimpse of the new Cillian Murphy film. Didn't know he was doing a new film. Don't really know what it's about.
Oh, Cillian Murphy, Peaky
Yeah,
Blinders.
Right. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it regardless. Seen the new trailer for the new Idris Elba film. It's about a maniac lion, right? Set in a jungle. Don't care. It's Idris Elba. He is a phenomenal actor, no matter what he plays in, and it's funny because
and he's hot as.
As soon as he came on, I was like, Alex, I'm just coming to see this with me, regardless. And Neve's like, well, so am I.
So am I.
I mean, it doesn't even matter if I'm there. You and her would be going to see it anyway. It's about a lion. Lisa looked at me and went, what? It's called Beast. And he's like that. What? I mean, what? I went, I know. I was like, but it's Idris Elba, and I've actually just watched Luther from start to finish again.
Oh, brilliant!
I just binged. I say binge watched it. I had it on in the background while I was working last week. I forgot how good it was again. Season 3 always gets me though. Like, it just creeps me the fuck out, that season.
I know.
Oh man. First time I ever watched it, I was like, didn't want to go to my bed. You know how that way.
One,
Oh no!
I know. So if you haven't seen Luther, you need to get on it.
You
But make
need-
sure you watch it with somebody.
Honest to
Oh,
God.
but it's brilliant. It
Do
is.
you know-
It's one of the best.
Was really hoping to see another trailer of the Florence Pugh and Harry Styles movie that's coming
did it
out.
not come on?
No, it never came out. That's out in September. That looks really good. That's psychological fuck-up film.
Okay.
They're in a bit of a bubble and she knows they're in a bubble and she tries to persuade everybody and all that kind of stuff. And I said to you, I'm pretty sure it's the guy for Suits, but double check that. And I can't remember what the other film was, but there was another one and I thought, that looks quite good. But yes, Bullet Train, definitely.
I must see.
I must see. Craig and I want to say his name's Chris. Apologies, Craig, and apologies
To whoever you are, if your name's Chris.
that's terrible. But I mean, I've got total brain fog, and it's medical, so I'm allowed. But what's the script is Craig's other podcast, and they do movie reviews. So
Yep.
they've recently just done Megamind there. They did an animated film and it was Megamind. But they are doing Bullet Train in the next podcast.
Right.
So if you don't follow what's the script, and they'll be doing that. So they'll be doing Bullet Train. And they did a review of the Elvis film, if you've...
I know, but I didn't read, I didn't watch it, and I didn't read because I think there was like a asterisk spoiler alert or something like that.
Have you not seen it?
I've still not seen Elvis, so I'm not, as I say, I'm not a big movie buff. I'm not a big cinema person. I never ever really have been. I only really go with the wee fella. And as I say, the last one I went to there was, well, obviously the last time we attempted to do the podcast 2 weeks ago, he was seeing Thor with my mum, walked out after 20 minutes. And then last week I took him to see DC Super Pets, which, as I told you, I don't want to spoil too many things for people, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. Like, it was just weird. It was just, I don't know, it was just so, it just wasn't like, I don't know, it just wasn't like a normal film. That, and it was, as I said, too woke for me. There was too many things in it that I just thought, oh, get to, you know. So, and even he had said to me, like 15 minutes in, I don't think I'm enjoying this, Mum, are you? And I was like, well, no, you know, I just paid last week for you to go with your gran and you walked out. I've just paid again. Let's just give it a bit of time. But as I say, we ended up walking out after like 40, 45 minutes. It just wasn't what we expected. And he actually kept saying that on the way home. We had a nice wee night though, because we went the underground into town and everything like that, and we went and got something to eat, and then just decided to go to the movies just dead randomly. So because it was random, it's not like it was a major disappointment. Like, we were really looking forward to it. So, but the whole way home, he kept saying, "Mum, that wasn't what I expected. I didn't expect it to be like that." And I was like, "I know, darling," I says, "but you know what? At least we gave it a bash. That's it." So as I say, I know.
Chris Rock and Kevin Hart are amazing. Like,
brilliant.
Jumanji, they two are phenomenal in Jumanji 1 and 2. I like, and I don't more put them together, just like because they work so well, and maybe DC have just thought, like, we'll do an animation. They two.
It wasn't even their voice. It was nothing to do with them. You could, obviously, their characters, you could tell who was who, and each character came out in the character, if you know what I mean, in a way. It was more
the
storyline and some of the content I just found a bit off, to be honest. And there was actually quite a really sad bit in it that he seems to be quite traumatized by. So I don't know. It's a PG, but nah, it just wasn't for me. But anywho, that's that. I've been doing some tallying up.
Right, okay. So yes, you were tallying up last night on school uniforms. So on my video yesterday, the average school uniform apparently is £100. So the grant in Scotland, then should cover and more the school uniform. So it was £120 for a primary and £150 for a secondary.
And is this for them getting into P1 and S1, and that's it? That's all you get?
No, so primary 1 to primary 7, right? If you qualify, every year you would get...
If you qualify,
right? So you would need to be on certain benefits to qualify, right? And I remember you used to get some help, or I was told when you got help. Hi, you okay?
Oh, what's the matter?
What's wrong, Archie? He's looking for his gran. She's away doing the messages this morning.
Oh, she's coming back.
I know. So Neve went to school with twins, and
Right.
always remember their mum saying, oh, she didn't know either, but the school told her, oh, you can get in touch with the council and they can help if you've got multiples, like the council can help, right?
Right.
But they don't do that anymore. Looking on the website or anything, I don't even mention that, obviously.
2022, what do you expect?
Right. But if you qualify for certain benefits, you are entitled to get this grant. So primary 1 to primary 7, you would get £120 in primary school, and I'm assuming it's S1 to S6. You would get £150 if you were in receipt of certain benefits.
Okay.
But I'm thinking S5 to S6, you would still qualify, although S5 and S6, they would qualify for, the pupil on their own right qualifies for a payment on their own, but that's like to help with going to school kind of thing. So although they get the free bus travel now, they do get like, it's like an attendance thing. So if they attend school regularly, they get money.
The payment.
They get the
so
payment.
It's like their bursary type thing that we
It's like
get.
a bursary, yeah, it's like a bursary. This pillow's doing my nothing on the screen.
Can't even see it.
I know, I'm in the boys. I've been decanted to the boys' room today. So yeah, so the average is £100 per uniform. So you would get £120, right, from the council for a primary school child, £150 for a secondary school child. In Shetland, we're given £100 for a nursery school child. In Eastern Bartonshire, we're doing £240 and £340. Western Bartonshire was £300 for primary, £300 for secondary, and splitting it over 2 payments. So technically, you weren't out of pocket for a school uniform. That was right. So, and then I was like, well, that's shite. That's just pish, because I don't see how £100 would cover a school uniform. I suppose it would if that.
And I suppose it depends on where you shop and stuff like that, right?
But what was your calculation?
So obviously I did my reel and stuff like that last night, and I purchased with Marks and Spencer's when they were advertising their 20% back to school discount. So I got stuff 20% cheaper. So for a 2-pack of shorts was £12, a 7-pack of socks was £7. Polo shirts were £3 each. I bought 4 of those, just plain navy blue polo shirts, so that was £16. Short sleeved shirts, because they won't wear long sleeved ones, 2-pack £11.20. PE shorts 2-pack was £8.80. the tank top that you'll probably wear on the first day, and then it will come back in the school bag, crumpled up in a ball, was £5.60. School bag, school bag by Nike was £30. The lunch bag that I got from Argos was £10. Shoes I got from Clark's are £50. And then for the branded school uniform stuff with the school logo on it from BE Uniforms, this time I only got 2 hoodies and 2 PE shirts. Hello! That came to a total of £53.98. So my overall total just for that stuff was £191.58, and I've still to get a jacket and his haircut. So including a 20% discount on like the majority of that stuff, and the rest paying full price. I was over £200 had I not got the 20% from Marks and Spencer's.
Right.
But they were the only place that I know of that were doing sort of a early bird, I suppose, if you were going to try and be organised, discounted back to school stuff, and that was Marks and Spencer's. And it's good quality stuff, it washes up well, and it is on its own quite reasonably priced. I mean, £3 for a polo shirt, that's not good. Too bad, you know. That's pretty reasonable. And the socks, £7, £7 for 7, so you were £1 a pair of socks. I think that's probably a wee bit steep, but do you know, they're cotton and blah blah blah. But we'll just talk about sizing for a second, because I did buy shorts and I had to buy them age 12 to 13 and they didn't fit him, right? They didn't fit him around his waistline.
What age is he?
8. Right. But as you know, he's a big boy, and he's solid, and he's broad, and he's got, like most or some kids, you know, he likes his grub and he's got a wee bit of a belly. So the age 12 to 13 shorts didn't fit him, so I had to return them, pay full price for the bigger size, and get refunded for the smaller size. So the refund was £9.60, and the new shorts were £12 for a 2-pack, right?
Right. So these are the tailored shorts.
Tailored shorts from Marks and Spencer's. Right. 2-pack. So I ended up getting them age 13 to 14.
Right.
And they're okay. However, what I do find is they fit them around about the bum and the waist, but it's just the gusset hangs a little bit long, obviously, because although he does have long legs for his age as well. So it just makes me think, like, what the hell is with all these sizes? Like, my son's not the average size of an 8-year-old, so I need to buy him a bit larger, and I always have had to do that. But, and like I mentioned to you earlier, is it reflective of the countries that these products are being made in? The sizing. It shouldn't be, because it should be UK, but what I'm trying to say is the average size of an 8, a 7, 8 or 9-year-old or any kind of child in the UK is not the same as it used to be.
Definitely not.
And it's also not the same worldwide, because like if you go to certain brands, like even as an adult, if you go to a certain brand, like say Zara. Or Mango, they're Spanish, they tend to be a lot neater. So you would maybe have to go the size up. It doesn't mean that you're fat or you put weight on. It's just their sizing, and that's because they're a Spanish brand. And so I just feel like, I don't know. It's just it's frustrating. So sometimes I can't get in between. So everything that I get him always ends up that little bit bigger to begin with, and then he grows into it and out of it super duper quickly. Or by the time it actually fits him the way it should, it's done because it's been ruined.
So do you need to renew any Adams like
shoes? Every couple of months it's shoes. However, and I couldn't get them this year because they're out of stock, so people must have cottoned on. There are a pair of, do you ever remember getting Start Right shoes going to school? Clark's used to sell them, but I think they just sell them in their own right now. Start Right. I'll put a link on. So these Start Right shoes, and they're like soccer shoes, and they're not the best looking shoes for school, but they're black leather. They've got like the big sturdy bit around the toe where they boot the ball all the time and scrape their feet along the ground and everything. These shoes were £50 again, but they lasted me 2 terms. Whereas normally I'm a new pair of shoes purely because they're completely done every 2 months.
Right, every 2 months?
Every 2 months. And I don't buy them cheap shoes, but sometimes I feel like maybe I should buy them cheap shoes so that I'm not forking out as much every time.
Yep.
So I don't know, but I'll put a link in for these Start Right shoes for boys, especially boys that like to kick a ball or just, you know, army shuffle about the playground and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes, you know, you're like that. Do you pay for the better quality stuff when they're just going to be rolling about the muck?
Yeah.
But you know, everybody is individually who they are, and personally I've always just shopped in these places. And I forgot to say that normally I would you'll go to school in the shorts and the shirt and the tie and the tank top, and
I remember that picture.
For the first couple of days, well, I try and put it in for the first week, but he's like, day one, that's it, day one. So I might get him to push to 2 days dressed like that. And then after that, it's just, you know, the school cut, the school polo and joggies. And normally I get his joggies from Next. But again, he's 8 and I have to buy age 11. And they do slim and skinny. That's it. My boy's not built for skinny. He's not built for skinny stuff. You know,
slim or skinny joggies? Do they not just do a joggie?
Not that I can find. So I normally just get them the slim ones because I can't do the skinny, and I have to get them age 11 or 12 and Next in their trousers. Well, in their joggers.
And see, when you talk about the branded stuff, obviously from the school, but obviously from the, I take it that the shop is still the shop at
Argyle Street train station. So they've got them. Their headquarters are in Dumfries and Galloway. So it used to be that you had to order online direct from them. Apparently, years ago, before mine was at school, you would order your stuff from the school, the branded stuff from schools. But they changed that, and it goes to Border Embroideries, which is BE Uniforms. Their HQs, and they've got them up and down the country because I've seen them in Dundee and stuff like that when I've been up through work in different cities. So they've got them up and down the country, but their HQs in Dumfries and Galloway. And it used to be that you could have free collection at Dumfries and Galloway, and I got stung by this once. Or you paid, I think it was like $4.99 for it to be delivered to your house. So I decided to have it collected. And then they said, oh, your order's here, please come and collect. And I thought it was in Glasgow, and it wasn't. It was in Dumfries. So I was like, well, how am I supposed to get there when I'm in the West End of Glasgow? So the girl had said to me, well, you'll need to pay for postage and we'll send it up to you. But this time they actually had the option for a free click and collect at Glasgow, which is just at Argyle Street train station and the sort of tunnel area, the back of St Enoch's. So they must have kind of thought we better give people this option, because I think perhaps maybe a lot of people get caught out that way. So that I ordered that stuff on the 10th of July. And I've had the order confirmation and things like that, but I've still not had the email to say, oh, your stuff's ready, go and collect it. And it's now the 4th of, I've got 10 days.
Do you know, it's funny because there's a girl that I follow on Instagram, and she said the exact same thing. And that was maybe last week, the week before. And she was saying she's still waiting on confirmation to say she's still to pick it up, and she ordered hers round about the same time. And like,
and is that branded stuff?
It's branded stuff.
So branded stuff, I suppose the lead time on those things in the industry that I work in, I know a bit about lead times, and as you know, I've been a bit stressed about that lately with clients and whatever else. Smile. And so branded stuff, the lead times is always going to be slightly longer because they've obviously got to get the design through the machines and everything else. But
they must know. I mean, this is obviously like the busiest. This can only be the busiest time of the year for them.
Yeah, but they always send out emails like sort of at May time, or even before the school finishes, saying like, you know, you should get your order in. People like me can't do that. People in general can't do that. Kids go to sleep and wake up a foot fucking taller at times, and I'm like, that, where did you sprout from? And for me, as you know, mine is just he's always just been a bigger boy than, and he takes after his dad, his height and his stature and stuff like that. And I'm quite tall for a female.
Yeah.
But he is just his dad, really, at the end of the day. Just looks and just everything about him. So so hurts me, pains me.
What
it pains me.
So like his school does still do the embroidery. What some other schools are doing, from what I've seen in the socials, is they're doing the sew on or the iron on badges. That are obviously cutting down the costs within their own schools, and that obviously that's a lot easier for parents to do, that they can just pick up the white polo shirts or the light blue, the whatever, and then just sewing it on or ironing it on, whatever, which is great. And then that avoids obviously all this panic and waiting and, do you know what I mean, picking stuff up and all that.
I know.
But is that then putting that kind of business, that industry out of business? But I suppose that probably comes from the same place, doesn't it? Like
it will do. It just means that their production would drop dramatically unless they then just sold the t-shirts separately, without the embroidery on it, and sold the stick-ons. Because for instance, I'll get him a PE t-shirt. I've ordered them 2. So they'll do PE 2 afternoons of the week. So he's got 2 t-shirts. And that is just a plain, either, now it comes through and it's either Russell Athletic or it's Fruit of the Loom. Right? Which has been a bit forever, and we've all been wearing. I mean, I remember way back in the 90s, Fruit of the Loom was actually really, really popular. We used to go out with my dad's, and I'd be like, Dad, let's go in here because they sell Fruit of the Loom t-shirts. Just a standard plain t-shirt. I had one in every single colour, and it was Fruit of the Loom. So what they do is they'll then put on they obviously just like steam on the PE t-shirts. They'll just like steam the transfer onto it, and it will have the name of the school on the back. So that's all they're doing. Do you see what I mean? Whereas the embroidered stuff for the polos, the blazers and everything else, that actually has to go through a proper machine. You're talking mass amounts of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? So the lead time is going to be fairly long, and I get that. However, with the transfer stuff, it's made me think, can I get a school crest made up? I'm quite sure there'll be somebody out there that can make that up and turn it into transfers, and then I just buy plain jade green t-shirts and stamp it on myself. You know?
But why did schools not have stock? Like, I know Neath's High School has stock, so they just opened the school one night, and then we just went in and obviously bought whatever we needed. But I suppose that's mental though, isn't it? Like, you would think, I suppose, do they have the facility to actually stock? Like, do they have the space to stock like t-shirts and blazers? Don't get me started in blazers. Like, surely that's a thing of the past. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I got mine a blazer when he started P1, and I've still got it, but I've not bought my blazer any other year because I'm not forking out the 60 odd quid or whatever it is every single year. First year, the blazer's important. They look that smart and cute, and they're transitioning from nursery to primary school, and it's a big thing.
It's a biggie.
It's a big thing, you know.
And I don't know if maybe Neve will maybe wear one when she goes into 6th year. Personally, I hope she does, like, because to me that's
a sign of our maturity, and like, and
I mean,
getting ready for the next part of her life.
Yeah, I never stayed to 6 years, but I would have liked to have seen me get out my trackie at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, I never wore a blazer either. I did art in 6th year. I was just like, woohoo!
But I would have liked to have seen myself do that transition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you just got out and just get straight into work.
Really lucky, but I mean, I was working 3 jobs at that point, so I mean,
I know.
I was really lucky, but it's an expense that comes round for me only once a year, but there's you saying it's more than once a year, like
and also, and every parent, mother, father, parent will identify with this as the lost property basket at school. So
do you name
hoodies? I do, but it still goes a missing. And do you know, and I think I might have touched on this in a pod before, we were actually looking for one of his, now he left a hoodie in his school club last week that we're still to go and collect, but it's just a normal hoodie. And he's left that in there. I had to phone them and tell them, he's left this. It's brand spanking new. Today was the first day he had it on. He's not in school club the rest of the week. So can you keep it by, is what I'm saying. Because people pinch things and you never see them again.
Yeah.
And also, we were hunting for a hoodie and then couldn't find it. And then they brought out this reel towards the end of, towards the Easter break or something. This reel was there in the playground. And I was like, oh, just have a wee look. And there was nothing of that of the size that would fit Adam. And then I seen this inside, and it said his name sticker on it, and I was like that, and it was from the year before. Didn't fit him anymore. So we'd actually found a hoodie from the year before. So the hoodies I need to replace.
Yeah.
Because they go missing. He loses them. Joggies I'm buying all the time. And I know another friend of mine is also buying joggies for her boys. Holes in the knees constantly. Constantly holes in the knees. So yes, I do have to buy throughout. I do. It's expensive, and I'm one of the ones that, you could say fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what way you want to look at it, who doesn't qualify for any of those grants that you spoke about. And I dare say that the people that do qualify for them, it definitely is a help, because if I'm paying over £200 to put my kid into new stuff that fits them for each term that starts or whatever, then people who are really, really need that financial assistance, obviously that's going to be a godsend to them. So it's good to know that there's stuff out there for people, because it is expensive. And I know you've got one in high school and I've not yet, but that's only around the corner for me. And it's only going to get worse.
I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that obviously I've got a daughter, right? So I don't need to, and I'm very lucky in the sense that I don't need to worry about the £200 trainers, right?
Because see, I am again, like the good stuff in life. I will have to worry about that.
You will have to worry about that, because that's what my nephew has just done.
I know, you were saying.
Because that is obviously what they need to wear, right? Because that is what they need to wear, because at the end of the day, if they don't have that, then they are going to stand out from everybody else. And you're in that position. If they don't have that, do you want to put your child in that position of the potential of being bullied or looking different? Or do you say, right, okay, well, what if you really can't afford that? Then what do you do? Do you know what I mean? So I
know it's horrible.
I mean,
there's so many different angles to look at.
The boys aren't even in primary school yet, do you know what I mean? And I'm already worrying about them going to secondary. But for Neve, like, she bought her own Converse at the end of just finishing there, because her Converse basically fell apart just as she was finishing that year, and she was like, "Mum, look, my foot's absolutely ringing." Like, she stood in a puddle, and then she realised she had a hole in them. And I went, "What?" I went, "You've got birthday money there, put it to use rather than like,
quite right.
Using V-Bucks, like paying for V-Bucks or whatever." And she went, "Right, okay." And it was only then she realised that the cost like 60 quid, and she went, "What?" And I went, so she was like, "Right, okay." So she bought her own Converse, and they'll do her probably the full year. And last year, our school bag, she wanted a handbag, right? So I was like, okay. I went, "If that's what you want, that's what I'll get you." And I was like, I know, like, she's probably going to want a River Island bag. Now, River Island bags, to me, are a luxury, but honest to God, they're the best made bags.
The quality, I know, they are sturdy and they last.
They are sturdy, they would last you a lifetime if you looked after them properly, right? So I was like, do you know, I actually don't mind buying her a River Island bag if she looks after it properly, and I know it's going to hold all our books and all that kind of stuff. So I'd rather buy her that than buy her, I don't know, like one at a Primark that I know she probably wouldn't get the year out of it or anything like that. So I bought her a River Island bag, and so they're 70 quid, and I gave her it, and she was like, "I know, but I'll be honest, that I mean, that is what obviously all the girls in the school like, use." And she was like, "I like it, but it's not really me." So I was like, right, okay. So I took it back, and I got my money back, and I went to Asda, and I basically FaceTimed her, and I was like, "Look, they've got this plain black bag kind of thing," and it was reduced to like a £5 or something. She went, "Aye, that'll do." And I was like, "What?" And it was just a simple plain black tote, and that's what she used. And I'm not even a month in, right? And she was like, "My shoulder's killing me," and I was like, and it was one of the ones, and she went, "Right, go say it." And I was like, "I told you so."
Told you so.
So, but she was defiant, and she was like, "No," and she carried that bag like the whole year.
She made it work for her.
Not to make a point, right? And then Craig ended up giving up his Marvel backpack, because he ended up getting a leather sports bag or something for his work, and she used that for like the last part of the year. So this year she bought a plain black backpack for a school bag this year, and I was like, all right, okay. So she's taking heed, and obviously that's what she's wanted. She's got black trousers for this year. She's got white shirts. She wanted the bodysuits that looked like shirts. Because she's got quite a long torso, so she felt as if the shirts were coming out of her skirts. But Marks and Spencer's were doing a longer shirt.
All right, I must say, Marks and Spencer's have got a good range of, like, sorry to interrupt you, but also just on that point, like, they've got slim shirts, they've got skinny shirts, they've got regular shirts, they've got easy iron shirts, they've got non-iron shirts for the ones that don't want to iron, they've got Velcro if you don't want to fanny about with buttons. So I must say a big shout out to Marks and Spencer's, because they do help massively.
And I mean, they do have the easy on range and stuff like that, and especially for the kids, like I mentioned in the video yesterday, like for those that have got sensory issues and things like that, like with the kid on buttons and all that, and they don't have the pockets and all that faffing about, and elasticated waists and all that. We never had anything like that at school, and you seen the kids.
I mind my mum sitting. my mum and my gran sitting putting elastic into.
Remember?
Aye,
Like,
you know, your mum and your granny and that used to put elastic in and thing with it. And, I know.
To make everything easy for us, like when we were younger, like elastic.
Pull it up, pull it down. Aye. Now it's all button and.
Yeah. So they've taken all that away from us. So them and Asda, they're the two that were leading the way, especially in an article that I read. So they two are the best for that. So it's Marks and Spencer's that I would use as well.
Just feel like there's a wee bit more thought goes into it.
Yeah, their washability as well. And
absolutely.
Marks and Spencer's, I never need to replace any. What I will say though is whose skirt was it? I bought a skirt from somewhere. Right, I've not tried the skirt. Catherine did look at their trousers though for girls, and it's not something that I've looked at over the past couple of years because Neve's not been bothered. But she says their trousers seem to be ill-fitting. So when Neve tried them on, they were sitting at their hips rather than up at their waist and things like that.
But then are they getting hipstery for the like for the fashion side rather than the functionality?
Well, see, to me,
it's really just a school uniform.
School should be functionality. It's not fashion. Honest,
some of the kids that I see going to school, it shouldn't really cost them that much to clothe them because they've not got fucking much on.
No,
you know what I mean?
The belts and helmets rather.
Even the wee fella will go like that. Breathing.
I know, and let's be honest, I wonder where they get the tits for these days because none of the girls that went to school with had tits. Do you know what I mean? Where did this generation get these tits and arses from?
I know.
I'm telling you, there's something in the matter.
Fucking don't.
There's something in the matter in this generation. They've all got Kim Kardashian arses and fucking tits, and it's all natural. So again, there's with the sizes, like they don't make the shirts for the busts that these girls have, or the skirts for the arses that these girls have. Or the girls choose to wear the shirts that are too wee for them, or the skirts that are too wee for them. It's either or. I don't know. I kind of make my mind up.
I must say though, I did wear, I don't know if you remember, but I did wear school uniform a lot to school.
Yeah.
And especially, right, in fourth, fifth and sixth year. And well, sixth year, not so much because I had loads of free periods and stuff like that because I was only doing art and English. So I only had 2 subjects or something. But fourth, fifth and sixth year, and I'll never remember walking up to school, I'll never forget, walking up to school, and I had this lovely, really, really lovely wee suede skirt, but it came to above my knee, but it wasn't like a pelmet, but it was above my knee, and it was buttoned down the middle, and I would wear my shirt tucked in, my school tie, and I had this like really cool wee denim jacket, and I would wear it with tights. I would never go bare-legged, but I would wear it with tights. And I always remember walking up Byers Road on the way up to school, and there was like a scaffolding of guys, working on the sandstone of the building or whatever, right? And when you think back, I must have been about 15, 16 maybe. And these fellas probably were like mentoring me, but they were maybe only about 22, 23, young guys. And it used to always like they would like wolf whistle and things like that as you walked by. You don't get any of that anymore, right? Because it's offensive or whatever else. I fucking miss that. I miss getting wolf whistled at walking down the street. I find it offensive that nobody wolf whistles at me anymore.
Well, so if any guys are listening and they see Alexandra,
you see me, give me a wee beep.
But
I never dressed with a short skirt or anything like that. But obviously, it did attract a bit of banter and a bit of attention. And it ends up I got to know the fellas, and every day for a full year, it'd be all right, good morning, how are you doing? A wee bit of banter.
Yeah.
And that was it. But things just aren't the same.
No.
We're going to do a wee retro slide as well on our socials of the kind of stuff that we wore to school.
Yeah.
Uniform and non-uniform.
Yeah.
And especially the Shelleys. Remember Shelley's bags?
Shelley bags.
And Shelley
bags.
That's
what we used for a school bag.
I know.
No River Island handbags and stuff. But
then Shelley's actually brought out one, which was like the satchel with the Velcro, remember?
Yeah.
We went through all of that.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's bringing back memories. I can't believe that.
I know.
I feel old.
But so like when Eve's shirts, it's Marks and Spencer's, and then for our skirts, I got our skirts out a quiz last year or the year before, and don't get me wrong, I don't think they were cheap. I think they were like £18 each, and I've just noticed I actually bought them out a quiz again yesterday, and I'm like, no, because they washed terribly, really bad, to the point that I was like, I've washed them twice and they're so bad. But the ones out a New Look, they were only about £8 each or whatever. They washed great, and she actually, like, I had them all year. She would be able to like wear them again.
I wear them full time.
But the textured ones out a quiz were awful. So anybody listening who hasn't bought school skirts yet, don't buy them at a quiz.
Sorry,
tights,
quiz.
I know. Tights, Primark, like that's just a no-brainer.
Tights
really.
are what they are, aren't they?
Black hoodies, I would say, like that's Neve's go-to. Matalan, for black hoodies, they wash amazing. They were £12 each. Neve's school has a supply of ties, so like you can just buy them like at the office kind of thing. And then I mentioned SMIGGLE yesterday, and they had a 50% off, 25% off their four-piece essential bundle, but 50% off their then essential extras. But the 4-piece was £70, and that was for a school bag, a water bottle, a pencil case, and something else. £70.
I know.
That's unjustifiable to me.
We were in SMIGGLE. We were in there. I think it was the one in either Braehead or Silverburn. I can't quite remember. And we were in there, and I was actually laughing because my pal sent me a text message the other day saying "fuck off, Google ads," because she was putting stuff in her basket and she was £150. But then she's got 3 boys, and one's only at nursery. But if she doesn't get for the other two, nightmare. So she added stuff for him as well, and she ended up not buying it because it took her up to £190 to get these back to school things. And I was like, that's mental. But we were in there, and the exact same one that she was going to buy for her boys was the one that Adam had seen. And it's the black backpack with the kind of a like embossed gold football 3D type thing. And I said, right, okay. So he says, can I get the one with the wheels on it? And I said, no. I would just think you're going and fucking playing every day at school.
I know.
I mean, just take let's have a look at the normal one. And the pricing, this is how you can get caught out at the till if you don't want to be embarrassed to say I'm not paying that. The pricing on their tags is minuscule. Yep. And I'm talking, the font is minuscule. It took me about 5 minutes to find the price because, might add, there was nobody in the shop that was there to assist me.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and it was £50 just for the backpack. And I went, no. I said, absolutely not. I went, I'll buy you that Nike bag that you've seen in JD's. That comes with a pencil case, by the way. And they've got it in lots of different colours. We opted for the camouflage one because it's dark and it won't get as grubby. And as I say, we get the Argos for the lunch box with the water bottle as well.
Yep.
The water bottles. How many water bottles do you buy a year?
Oh,
honestly,
I can't even get my boys to drink out a normal water bottle. I keep them away from their actual like drinking bottle, and I've got like 40 million other bottles. And in nursery they'll drink out an actual cup.
Okay.
And they're actually like just taking the absolute piss at me in the house. I've bought them the mini cooler, like the penguin cooler and all that.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It's all gimmicks, all marketing ploys.
No, it's the same one they've got in the nursery. They're just taking the absolute piss at me. Just taking the absolute piss. I've bought them jugs, I've bought them everything that they've got in the nursery, but they just want like, the same bottle that they've had forever. Like, Archie even refused to like even change the colour of his bottle. There's just another thing to go with his bloody assessment that they're coming out to do in the house on Wednesday.
Right.
I mean, we do it we usually do it in the school or the nursery, but I mean, it's a summer holiday, so we'll do it in the house. What the fucking point? Why? What's the point in that? Surely you're meant to do it in the nursery or the school so that you can see them in a different setting.
And a different environment. I know I was going to say, and the environment that probably poses them is the much anxiety, like the most anxiety or whatever. Oh, Shona, if only we were health visitors, doctors, politicians.
Prime Minister.
We would cure the world.
I know. I know. Do you know, in all this school uniform chat, I've not even thought about the boys going back to nursery. Like, they've picked up a new lunchbox, right? I mean, that's the last thing they need is a new lunchbox, right? Because obviously there's nothing wrong with their lunchboxes. They had 2 lunchboxes last year, and it's only because one wanted one and one wanted the other. But they can't have 2 different ones because they're going to want
buy
one
2 of each every time.
They'll maybe need new wellies for their outdoor play because their feet will be growing. And I deliberately bought a size up for their wetsuit for going outside because I knew they were going to go back and it was going to be winter. And I'll just buy their joggies, their jumpers and their t-shirts, all from Asda, just because they do the packs, like not packs, but you know how you get like the 5-pack of t-shirts or whatever for £15 or whatever it is, and I just mix and match out of that. And that'll be it. Like, I've not even thought about them going back to nursery, and I know it's an educational setting, but for me,
it's different. It's mostly play, isn't it? It's play learning,
and I know they're going to get bogging, and I know it's new stuff. And you know how when you buy new stuff for kids, you're like, I'll keep that good. That'll be their good stuff. And that's when you talk about, should kids wear uniform? Yes, they should, because their clothes are then their clothes, and that's their playing stuff, and that's their keeping it good. And that's where kids then don't get bullied for what they're wearing. Do you know what I mean? They're all wearing the same. It doesn't matter which shop it's from.
And also it differentiates them from when they've got school and when they've not.
Yeah.
And the majority of the time when mine's isn't at school, he's in sports stuff or he's in football gear or something like that. Yes. So unless it's a special occasion where he needs a decent pair of you know, dress shoes, dress trousers or suit or whatever for a wedding or whatever it might be, then you know, but and it keeps everybody, well, listen, the same. That's the words, it's uniformed, isn't it? It means that it's uniformed, it means that it's all the same. Everybody, I was going to say something there, but I won't for our Wokies in the so it should be, I think, personally. And as much as it costs X amount of money to kit them out for going back to school, if they were in a uniform, at least you know that's how much it's costing you. If it was a case of they wanted to wear Nike everything and Adidas this and all branded merchandise the whole year through, it would cost you a hell of a lot more than £100 to £200.
Yeah, it could cost you that per month, depending on what the new trainer is or what the new top is.
I agree.
So yeah, it's a big expense. But Asda, that's the one thing I will say for Asda. Asda do the saving card, and they do it for Christmas as well. So they do a Christmas savings card where you put money on the card every shop or every week or every month or whatever. I do it religiously every month, just so that when it's Christmas time, I know I've got X amount of money.
X amount on there.
But they do it for a uniform, your uniform card. So I'll be doing that for the boys.
Right.
So the boys won't be getting Marks and Spencer's, the boys will be getting Asda. And that's just because it will be
there's
more
two of them.
it will be more cost effective for me doing it in Asda. And I suppose, and that's because I know I can save it on that card. And there's two of them. And they won't be getting Clark shoes. They'll be getting the Asda shoes, or they Smart Right if they're still doing them.
Start Right, aye.
Because
I think Start Right will be around for they've been around since Clark's was up in Byers Road, and the Clark's and Byers Road used to sell Start Right when I was about 8. So I always remember going in and get my feet measured up there.
Aye. So for all I try and keep my kids' feet as healthy as I can. Like, there's got to be healthy feet and there's got to be eating. So I mean, it's
I know
there's priorities. Do you know what I mean? So yes, uniforms are a massive expense, but
massive
needs must.
And they're worth it in the long run, our opinion.
Definitely. But
so
I can
let us know what you think.
I know.
Oh, can you? Right. Okay. Time to go.
I need to go. My dad's probably having a nervous breakdown in there, so
that's fine. Right. Okay. Let us know what you think in the comments. Any tips, hints, got questions, and let us know what you think about wolf whistling. Should we bring it back?
Aye.
Who knows?
I know Alexandra can do it. I can't.
I want to go retro style, like get the wolf whistling out.
I know.
Really sad. It really is. Anyway, I'll reminisce the rest of the night, right?
Right. See you later.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Mom.